Also with us, we have the Honorable Minister of Budget and National Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu. Please put your hands together. You're welcome, sir. Joining us this morning, we also have distinguished Directors General, and we'll be doing the recognitions quickly and now. We have with us the Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu. Please put your hands together. You're welcome, sir. Also with us is the Director General, CLTC, Honorable Risola Abiola. You're welcome. Today is a day of the youth, and of course, one thing we know about the youth is the vibrance and the energy that comes with what the youth does. And whilst we expect our Honorable Minister, the Minister of Youth Development, to make his way to the hall for us to officially start, we want to very specially recognize everyone that has made it here this morning early enough to mark this remarkable and record-breaking event. Today as well, we gather to witness, as we said earlier, the national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. I understand that for those of us that must have seen the invite, perhaps we do not fully understand what this means and how it will benefit the Nigerian youth. In the next few minutes, we'll also be having all that come to us as expositions in different levels of speeches, as we also have in mind to partner with what the Federal Ministry of Youth Development is doing in transformation of the Nigerian youth. We'll be taking other greetings when we have our guests arrive, and I would like to say that we just relax and in the hands of media as they play some soft tunes for us this morning. Once again, good morning and welcome to the national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. Thank you.
Farmer, I'm just a farmer. Farmer, executive farmer. No, farmer, no food.
Prior the training, I had no direction, to be sincere.
I don't even know what to do, because at that point I just finished my NYC, I just finished serving. So I just came like, okay, let me just come and see what is happening here. So I have no idea on what soilless farming is all about. But at a point I started thinking that how does the course I studied in school, because I studied geology, had to do with farm and oil.
The International Institute.
If I have not participated in YAS training, by now I'm not sure I will be in this business again. I didn't even know that fish farming can be this profitable. Understand? But after the YAS program, we were able to see that, wow, there's more to fish farming, and then we're able to bring in more people to help us to, grow and experience more profits in the business. One of the challenges we had was we were having constant losses, which was as a result of poor farming practices. Our fishes were not growing because we didn't know how to administer feeds per face of the fish. For instance, now then, if we feed the fish for 1 month, then 2 mm, we'll just say, Kai, then 2 mm is expensive, so let's move to 4 mm and give them more of 4 mm, which was affecting their growth. We feed as the spirit leads. What I mean is, you come and give them the feeds until they are satisfied, and sometimes we'll just be looking at the feeds. Well, after the training, they give us a standard feeding formula from fingerling to table size. What we do is we strictly follow the feeding manual, and then the results changed. In fact, some months ago, we had some of our fish that were up to 1.7 kg. Before the training, I think the highest we stocked was 4,000, and sometimes we might have to sell like 1,000, and sometimes 900. That's if the farming was great, we can sell like 900. There was a time we sold 400, none was up to 1 kg. Now we stock 1.5, and we can get 1.2, 1.3 at the end of the farming season. Before the training, I wasn't making any profit, to be sincere with you. It was just like, well, let's just continue. Maybe a time we come, make profit. But now, of a truth, we are making substantial profit in the business. Also, I wasn't into fish processing. We were only selling fresh fish. But after the training, we started first with the local smoking kiln before we moved to the advanced smoking kiln. Having to see that I'm making money out of my passion is the zenith of fulfillment. The knowledge they impacted has been helpful, and I can attribute some of my success to the YAS project.
I started this business as a layman. I was looking for a business to feed my family. A friend advised me to venture into catfish farming. I started the business in the year 2022. I stocked about 700 fishes, and my target was to harvest 500. But unfortunately for me, I couldn't harvest even 300 because of the lack of experience. I was about to quit the business because the fishes were dying. So many challenges. I learned from a friend too that there is YAS in IITA that are training youth people, on different skills. So I tried my luck. I was interviewed, and luckily I was successful. I started with a single pond, but now I have about 3 ponds that can accommodate up to 2,000 fishes, up to 1 kg size.
Thank you.
And I have smaller ones. You can see them. They are 2.
Thank you very much. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this morning we have now received our chief host of today's event, none other than the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande. Your hands together, please. Having warmly received our chief host, I'd like us to kindly rise as we officially begin with the national anthem. Thank you very much. The national anthem. Thank you very much. Please, you may all be seated. The chief host of this event, the national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande Wisdom, the Permanent Secretary, Directors General, Captains of Industry, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Abiye Abere, and I am delighted to be your host for this auspicious event. Today we gather not only for the launch of a program, but for the unveiling of possibilities that exist, because the chief host, our Honorable Minister of Youth Development, found value in the youth. Indeed, a time comes where steps need to be taken to transition youths from where they are to where they need to be, and which is why the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund initiative was birthed. Today, we are gathered to witness a groundbreaking event, one which we know in the next few weeks, next few days, next few months, and of course, years, would cause a change to the youth that will be able to say, yes, indeed, the Federal Ministry of Youth Development has caused one to be celebrated, one to be lived by a generation. Having said that, I'd like to say that we put our hands together and appreciate our chief host for this vision for the national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. Your hands together, please. Though my command of English may be great, I truly do not possess the authority to give a good welcome to everyone in this room, which is why today we have to take the welcome address, one who has practiced in the medical field for over 2 decades, and right now she translates all that experience as she serves as a permanent secretary of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like that you join me, give a loud welcome as we invite to the stage for the welcome address, Dr. Miriam Ismaila Kashero. Put your hands together as she comes forward. Thank you. I'd appreciate that we keep clapping until she gets here. Thank you. You're welcome.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, ably represented by the Commissioner of Youth Affairs, Honorable Charity Uyemen, His Excellency, the Governor of Kaduna State, ably represented by Commissioner of Youth and Sports, Barrister Gloria Ibrahim, His Excellency, the Governor of Kano State, ably represented by the Special Advisor of Youth and Sport Development, Honorable Sani Musa Denja, the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, ably represented by Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, Honorable Minister of National Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, my brother, my elder brother, the Special Assistant to the President on Youth Initiative, Dr. Titi Lokwe Badumasi, my able, youthful, go-getter, pace-setter, humble, hardworking, smart-working, Honorable Minister of Federal Ministry of Youth Development. Please, I think we need to give him a round of applause. Let's feel the youth in this place. Please give a round of applause to your able minister. He has been saying, walking the talk. The Director General, NYC, Brigadier General Olakule Nafiu, the Executive Secretary, Citizen Leadership Training Center, Honorable Rinsola Abiola, Director General Sweden, Mr. Charles Oji, Director General IITA, Dr. Ewu Simon, the Managing Director of First Bank, ably represented by Hama A. Mohammed, the Managing Director, Bank of Industry, ably represented by Mrs. Aderonke Akelui, Directors of Management from the Ministry of Youth and National Youth Service Corps, our development partners, International Institute of Tropical Agriculture. I can see her smiling, Miss Allen, the engine room behind us, ably supporting the ministry and the minister. directors from the ministry, distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to the launch of the National Youth in Agricultural Land Trust Fund, which is a landmark initiative of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development designed to expand economic opportunities for young Nigerians through agriculture and agribusiness. On behalf of my Honorable Minister and the entire ministry, I extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests, representatives of government institutions, development partners, financial institutions, private sectors, members of the diplomatic corps, youth organizations, the media, and all stakeholders that are here today. Your presence reflects a shared recognition that the future of Nigerian development is closely tied to how efficiently and effectively we empower our young people to participate in a productive economic activities. It also demonstrates a collective commitment to finding innovative and sustainable solutions to some of the challenges that continue to limit youth participation in key sectors of our economy. We know that before, when we hear agri, we tie it to the old school, in the words of the youth. Today marks the beginning of an exciting chapter in our effort to unlock the immense potential of Nigerian youth. The Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund is a bold and innovative concept that seeks to address one of the most persistent barriers confronting aspiring young agripreneurs, which is access to productive land. Beyond the land access, the initiative is visioned as a platform for creating opportunities, fostering enterprise development, and connecting young people to resources, partnership, and support systems that are required for success in modern agribusiness. What makes this initiative particularly compelling is that it goes beyond conventional approaches to youth empowerment. It is built on the understanding that young people do not merely need assistance, they require access, opportunity, and enabling environment that allows their talents, creativity, and entrepreneurial abilities to flourish. The program therefore seeks to create a practical framework through which underutilized assets can be transformed into engines of productivity, innovation, and economic growth. As holders, I believe we will all find today's unveiling both aspiring and thought-provoking. The concept before us presents opportunities for collaboration across multiple sectors. For financial institutions, it offers pathways to support emerging enterprises and unlock new markets. For development partners, it provides a platform for impactful interventions that can improve livelihoods and strengthen food systems. For the private sectors, it opens opportunities and possibilities for investment, value chain development, and strategic partnership. The youth potential can be brought together to achieve sustainable development. And for young Nigerians, it represents a new horizon of opportunities and enterprise. I am particularly excited about the conversation that will emerge from the launch and the partnership that will be forged in this process. The success of any transformative initiative depends not only on its design, but also on the willingness of stakeholders to embrace a shared vision and contribute their expertise, resources, and commitment towards its realization. As we proceed into today's program, I encourage you to listen closely to the details that will be unveiled, engage actively, and consider the role your institutions can play in advancing this important national endeavor. I am confident that our discussions today we demonstrate the immense possibility that can be achieved when governments, development partners, financial institutions, investors, and young people work together towards a common goal. Once again, thank you for honoring our invitation and for your continuous support to youth development initiatives. I wish us all a productive and rewarding engagement and look forward to the outcomes that will emerge from this important gathering. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Your hands together, please, for the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development for those insightful words. Indeed, at the end of today, we hope that we all would carry the spirit of partnership and collaboration, because when government partners with those who are passionate about seeing the transformation of the youth, there is simply nothing that will be unachievable. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund reflects the power of strategic collaboration, as we heard from our dear Permanent Secretary, in the building of sustainable pathways for youth empowerment and national development. And of course, today we are gathered for such a momentous event that we expect to take us on a ride through to see what the Federal Ministry of Youth Development has been working on for the past months. Would like to recognize very quickly the presence of the Head Special Duties of the Office of the Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, representing the Executive Secretary of the NUC, Dr. Abubakar Tanko Mohammed. Your hands together, please. We also want to recognize the Divisional Head of Agribusiness and Non-Oil Exports of the First City Monument Bank, which is one of our sponsors that have done very great work in seeing that today's event is successful. None other than Mr. Kudzai Gumonyu. Your hands together. To take this event further, we'll be inviting one who is a renowned development expert and respected global voice in agricultural transformation. His remarkable career spans international development, agricultural economics, and institutional leadership, including the senior leadership role at the World Bank, and now at the forefront of agricultural innovation across the continent. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to take the opening remarks this morning, join me in welcoming the Director General of the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, none other than Dr. Ewi Simeon. He'll be joining us online, so kindly turn your attentions to the multimedia screen as we hear his words in the opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MC. I hope you hear me very well.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister, my dear friend, Comrade Ayode Olawande, representatives of the governors of those Kaduna State, and representative of the Ministry of Science and Technology, Permanent Secretary, Madam Maria, development partners, representative of the private sector and financial youth leader and entrepreneur, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to sit on the executive. Before I begin, allow me to sincere apology for not being able to person today. I had very much hoped to be present for important national. Unfortunately, Prior commitments prevent from being physically present. Nevertheless, I am delighted to participate and to lend my full support to this important. I bring you warm greeting from Ibadan, the headquarters of the International Institute of IITA, where for 6 decades we have worked along advanced agriculture, food security, and economic opportunity in Nigeria and Africa. Next year we will be celebrating anniversary. I would like to express my appreciation to the Minister of Development for this initiative and for the opportunity to distinguish this gathering. It's a great privilege and an honor to welcome to the national launch in agribusiness fund. Today marks for far more than the inauguration of a new program. It marks the beginning of a new social and economic compact between Nigeria and its youth. It's a bold declaration that our young people are not merely beneficiaries of development, they are architects of Nigeria's future prosperity. The theme of today's event, Unlocking the Land, Unlocking the Future, captures a simple but powerful truth. When young people gain access to productive assets, opportunities emerge. When opportunities emerge, enterprises grow. And when enterprises grow, nations prosper. Nigeria stands at a unique moment in its history. Our country is blessed with abundant agricultural resources, vast expanses of arable land, and one of the largest youth populations in the world. This demographic advantage can become one of Nigeria's greatest strengths. Yet, for too many young people, agriculture remains a promise that's difficult to realize because access to land is the most fundamental asset in agriculture remains beyond their reach. For countless aspiring agripreneurs, access to finance, technology, training, and markets means little if they cannot access the land on which to build their dreams. The Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust, the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund directly address this challenge. Under the visionary leadership of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, land associated with the Federal Youth Development Centers will be mobilized through a dedicated trust, a trust mechanism, and made available to support youth-led agribusiness ventures. This is not simply a land allocation initiative. It is an empowerment initiative. It is an enterprise development initiative. It's an investment in jobs, innovation, food security, and national development. Most importantly, it is an investment in the confidence and aspirations of Nigeria's youth. Ladies and gentlemen, what makes this initiative particularly compelling is its integrated approach. Access to land alone is not enough. Young people also need access to modern technologies, quality inputs, mechanization services, digital solutions, finance, business development support, mentorship, processing facilities, and reliable markets. This is where the proposed agri-hubs becomes transformational. These hubs can serve as engine of rural economic growth, bringing together innovation, skills development, incubation services, production support, value addition, and market access within a single ecosystem. They can help young people move from subsistence to enterprise and from unemployment to entrepreneurship and from vulnerability to prosperity. At IITA, we are proud to partner with the Federal Ministry of Youth in this historical undertaking. Our commitment is to ensure that access to land is accompanied by access to science, innovation, knowledge, and opportunity. We want young Nigerians to see agriculture not as a last resort, but as a first choice career, modern, profitable, technology-driven, and capable of generating wealth at scale. Across Africa, we have seen young entrepreneurs transform entire value chains when given the right support. We have seen youth-led enterprises create jobs, improve food systems, and stimulate local economies. We know that when young people succeed in agriculture, entire communities benefit. This initiative, therefore, aligns strongly with IIT's mission of transforming agriculture through science and innovation. It also contributes directly to Nigeria's national priorities of food security, economic diversification, youth employment, rural transformation, and inclusive growth. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the future of African agriculture will be determined by our ability to attract, retain, and empower the next generation. Across the continent, the average age of farmers continues to increase, while youth unemployment remains one of the greatest development challenges. The YLALTF provides a practical response to both realities. By connecting young people to productive assets and enabling them to build competitive agribusiness enterprises, this initiative can generate employment, strengthen agricultural value chains, and increase food production, and create new pathways to economic opportunity. Its impact can extend well beyond agriculture. It can stimulate rural economies. It can attract private sector investment. It can reduce poverty. It can strengthen social stability. And it can transform young Nigerians from job seekers into job creators. Ultimately, our ambition is larger than agriculture itself. We seek to build thriving communities where young people can realize their potential, earn a dignified living, support their families, and contribute meaningfully to national development. That's how agriculture becomes more than a sector. It becomes a pathway to prosperity. It becomes a driver of stability. And it becomes a foundation for national transformation. I wish, therefore, to commend the Honorable Minister of Youth Youth Development and the entire ministry for their vision, courage, and leadership in bringing this initiative to fruition. I also acknowledge the support of the presidency, state governments, development partners, financial institutions, traditional institutions, private sector actors, and all stakeholders whose commitment has made this launch possible. As we gather today, let us remember that the true measure of success will not be the number of hectares placed in a trust. It will be the number of young lives transformed, the number of businesses created, the number of jobs generated, the volume of food produced, and the number of communities empowered. Together, we have an opportunity to nurture a new generation of entrepreneurs who will help feed our nation, strengthen our economy, create employment, and shape the future of agriculture in Africa. On behalf of the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, and broadly the CGIAR, I warmly welcome you all and thank you for the commitment to this important initiative. I wish you productive deliberations and a highly successful launch. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My sound is not blocked. I'm sorry we can't hear you from here.
Forces representing the Director General of the Bureau of Public, representing the Director General of the Bureau of Public Presentation. Sorry about that. We'll get that recognition and we'll come back to that. Very quickly, we have with us this morning the SA to the President on Youth Initiatives and Delivery, Honorable Titilope Badamosi. You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you. Your hands together, please. Also with us is the Managing Director of Health Destiny Integrated Service Limited, Lady Sandra Are. You're welcome, ma'am. Okay, finally at this time, we'll be recognizing the Group CEO of Safital Limited, Mr. Amo Obeide. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Just before we have the goodwill message, we would like to project on our screen a video that would give perspective to why we are here. I understand that we've heard the welcome address, we've heard the opening remarks, but of course, the Federal Ministry of Youth Development has put together a media presentation that will make us to understand fully why we are here. So as we turn attentions to the multimedia screens, let the images and the pictures and the videos we see reverberate and resonate in our hearts from this room, even outside and after this event, to the place where we can say indeed we bear the burden and we bear the heart of Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. Thank you.
Nigeria is a nation blessed with vast arable land, as well as energetic, creative, ambitious, and industrious young people who have shown readiness to leverage innovations to create jobs, wealth, contribute to food security, improve livelihoods, and sustainable development in the agriculture sector. However, lack of access to land and other production infrastructures are some of the barriers limiting their active engagement in the sector. But this narrative is about to change. Identifying this problem, the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, in partnership with the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, is launching the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund, YIALTF, to facilitate young Nigerians' access to land and other assets that promote job and wealth creation, improved productivity, food security, and livelihoods for young people. Through the YIALTF, 42 youth development centers owned by the Federal Ministry of Youth Development across Nigeria will be transformed into agribusiness hubs to serve as centers for innovation, business incubation, and enterprise development. Young people will gain access to land, practical agribusiness skills, modern production practices, and business support, such as mentoring and markets. This initiative would build on the years of experience and capacity of the IITA Youth in Agribusiness program on agribusiness parks, where young people have access to shared infrastructure that promoted access to land, infrastructure, mentorship, markets, and innovation to create profitable agribusinesses and jobs for others. These centers would create an enabling ecosystem where thousands of young Nigerians can learn about agriculture, produce, process, and scale. Participants would receive the support needed to build viable agribusiness enterprises, adopt climate-smart innovations, strengthen business management skills, and connect to opportunities across the agricultural ecosystem. With this initiative, let the growth begin now.
Your hands together, please. Thank you very much. Indeed, nothing moves until there is an intentional decision, and it's that decision that was made by the Federal Ministry of Youth Development to bring us to this room to have this conversation and mark this national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. Right now, we'll be proceeding to the goodwill messages, and I'd like to crave your indulgence, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that we welcome very specially and humbly the Honorable Minister of Budget and National Planning, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, for his goodwill message. Your hands together, please, as we welcome him. Thank you. Can we keep clapping until our minister gets to the microphone?
Thank you. Good morning. The Honorable Minister of Youth Development, my brother Ayo Olawande, the representatives of the state governments that are here in no particular order, but the Commissioner of Youth in Kaduna, I think also the representative of Kano, I believe. And I'm even very glad that the representative of Kano is someone who wears a lot of hats, Sani Danger. And I'm very pleased to see him in this role, because we need those who have the ability to mobilize and influence. And as one of Nigeria's most famous media personalities, I'm very, very impressed and glad that today he's lending his capacity to help in both agribusiness and land issues. The Director General of the NYSC Permanent Secretary, my sister, Dr. Mariam Keshenru, other presidential aides that are here, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, representative of the IITA, Aline Mugiso, my sad name, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think I saw somebody from Mopi. I also hear the my friend from the FCMB also is here, I believe. Good morning once again, everyone. And let me, so when Ayo was appointed Minister in charge of youth development, I had a very lengthy conversation with him. And I did warn him that two portfolios are particularly difficult, youth and women affairs. Because I think I even told him the story of the first Minister of Women Affairs, Ambassador Judith Atta, who actually protested against the creation of the ministry because she said, we don't want women to be consigned to a ministry and as if we have carved out something for them. Because education is women, house is women, works should be women. And I did warn him that he's also in a similar situation. And he has to be creative, he has to be collaborative, he has to be imaginative, and especially in a federation. So when I saw this program which talk about agribusiness and land, one will have think, oh, what has Ministry of Youth got to do with it? But again, this reflect of that discussion, because the Ministry of Youth really is a ministry that should be everywhere. But it should be everywhere in a collaborative manner and mobilize all, more so in both agribusiness and in particular the land challenge, because a number of experiences around the world and even locally, and when you meet, I attended a number of programs where youth in agriculture, the major item they first identify is the land issue. And again, even beyond what you come across with in our youth, knowing that if you go to our court systems and some of our long-standing communal issues and even our contemporary issues are largely how we manage land, how we compete for land, how competing uses put pressure on land. So again, talking about land and relating it to agribusiness, and particularly for a country that believes, rightly so, that a major driver of growth is agribusiness, and who should lead this growth better than our youth. It's one of the cardinal priorities of the Renewed Hope agenda, that we believe agriculture can help us generate higher level of growth in an inclusive manner, equitably spread. But without our youth leading the way, maybe we will not drive the opportunities we felt that are there for us to take advantage. So this team, I must congratulate the Ministry of Youth and thank IITA and all the partners that I believe are lined up here to, in addition to sharing experiences or drawing opportunities, also lend their support so that we can do better in both agribusiness and the way we utilize land. There are experiences and examples around the world that draw attention to both the opportunities and the necessity, the imperativeness of looking at these two elements together, agribusiness and, because yes, we are a blessed nation with about 1 million square meters, but if one want to see the promise of land management, land utilization, particularly in agribusiness or agribusiness in particular, one of the most often cited examples is the example of Netherlands, a country that is smaller than some Nigerian states, about 41,000 square kilometers. But yet, with over 20 million people living in that land, they do export about 130 billion euro worth of agri-produce, mostly coming from agri-businesses. But yet, maybe our oil export, even in the best year, 2013, have been less than 100 billion. So that means we can do much better. And there's no part of this country that cannot, if our south states are to focus on competing with Netherlands, they have the water bodies, they have the geography, they have the climatic conditions. That another example from a developing country is Bangladesh. Bangladesh is about 147,000 square kilometers, which is less than former northwest state, which is Niger, 79,000, Kebbi, 36,000, Zamfara and Sokoto, just 149,000, slightly bigger than Bangladesh. But yet Bangladesh produce about 35 million, with 170 million people living in that land, compared to about 30 to 40 in these states. But yet Bangladesh produces in that land about 35 million metric tons of rice. They do about maybe another 5 million tons of fisheries, but we do much, much less than that. So this draws attention to, A, we need to be more focused on agribusiness, mobilize as many young people as possible, and two, to get it right, we have to focus on the land organization, because without organization, land, as we have seen, has been even a source of conflict rather than a source of opportunity. And to get agribusiness right, not only must you organize land differently, but we must utilize it to generate technology, because as with every evolving productive system, whether it is farming or fishing or livestock, we know that historically to move from nativity to modernization requires infusion of skill set and technology. Therefore, this opportunity that is provided by the Ministry of Youth and Youth Development to say, what can we do, or to say, how can we create solutions to land problems that abound? Because even as we speak, land problems abound. And this opportunity is one that is very, very important. Our farmer harder clash is largely a land problem. Our banditry problem, we don't want to say it all the time because the military said, but again, one of the drivers is land. It's land. So competing land uses between people who are accustomed to farming in the way they used to do, accustomed to livestock management in the way they used to do, and sometimes even accustomed to the fishing in the way they used to do. And yet we need to mobilize all of it. We need to train them and teach them how we can use land more efficiently, more properly. And especially given that we are a federation, the federal government does not have all the power. The state government does not have all the power. The local government does not have all the power. So how do we do this? And President has been very, very clear. He is a true believer in federalism. So all federal institutions must recognize that to get it right, we need to articulate a consensus-driven mechanism that will involve a whole of federation approach, so that the local governments will have a sense of ownership. The state governments will have a sense of ownership, particularly when it comes to land, because again, our constitutional arrangement is that the states even have a higher pride of place than federal government. And when it comes to agribusinesses, local governments also have a place. So that's why part of what the federal government has done is to, Mr. President attended a meeting of the National Economic Council on October 2025 and say, how do we solve all these problems at the same time? And we agreed a federation design that can we put together a renewed hope world development plan, which is a management platform where the 8,809 wards in Nigeria can be mapped as to their economic opportunities, including land and what is therein, so that we localize this challenge, we decentralize. So I will advise the ministry to encourage utilizing that platform so that young groups can interrogate what is in each of the 8,809 wards of the country. What are where is the land? What are the land issues? What are the conflict issues? And it's very easy for you to do it, because if you mandate the DG of the NYSC to use the next batch of coppers, you can do this. We are doing it at our level. I'm sorry, maybe I can see impatience that, but because this is part of our major plank in generating the $1 trillion economy, and I'm recalling a conversation that I have with Aline, that the macroeconomic reforms Mr. President have boldly taken the bullet for, and we have solved the financing problem. Let me repeat. Have solved the financing problem in the sense that today we can find private capital to support any agribusiness undertaking. We don't have budget, but that's not what will give us the growth that we need. We need private funding. We need hundreds of billions of dollars, and we can find it. So the challenge for the young people is to organize themselves, interrogate ideas, take advantage of the numerous potentials in agribusiness, as has been demonstrated by the performance of some companies that have grown from a little unknown companies to now literally billion-dollar companies, all Nigerians and owned by the youth. And these opportunities still abound because we are just scratching the surface. 80% to 90% of agriculture is relying on rampant agriculture. Even transiting that to provide irrigation is major opportunity. The same thing with our fishing, the same thing with our livestock sector, the same thing with our basic processing. The money is out there. What used to be a hindrance have been solved. What we want is imagination from our young people who are able to bring technology, bring skill set that can evolve and unlock opportunities, and with these frameworks that are solving the land issues and the de-risking tools we are daily putting in the budget system, I believe the sky is the limit. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Can we kindly rise, please, as we have the Honorable Minister of Budget and National Planning take his seat. Thank you. You may please be seated. You know, this is what happens when you have one with so much knowledge and passion for the Nigerian youth take the stage. We have so much points come in. I want to believe that the youths in this room are writing, because if you could see me, I was jotting down, not because I'm hosting the event, but because there's so much to note from the idea of mobilizing young people. That translates to everyone in this room sharing what we're hearing with those who are not here, and of course focusing on the land, which we've come to discuss this morning. And he also asks a very important question: how we can provide solution to our land problems. But he doesn't just state a problem, he goes ahead to provide a solution. Once again, please celebrate our own Minister of Budget and National Planning for those words. Thank you. We would be taking more goodwill messages, and to state that the very first section we're taking would just be a couple. We would proceed with the next section of the event afterwards and come back to the goodwill messages. The second goodwill message this morning will be taken by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, His Excellency Senator Uba Sani, ably represented this morning by the Commissioner of Youth and Sports, Barrister Gloria Ibrahim. Please your hands together as she makes her way to the microphone. You're welcome.
The Honorable Minister of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, Honorable Ayodele, the Honorable Minister of Budget and Planning, Federal Ministry of Budget and Planning, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development. My list is endless. Please permit me to stand upon the already existing protocol. It is my distinct honor and privilege to stand here on behalf of the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, His Excellency Senator Uba Sani CON, at this historic national launch of the Youth Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. On behalf of the Governor and the resilient people of Kaduna State, I'd love to convey our deepest appreciation to the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, and every partner whose vision and unwavering commitment has brought this transformative initiative to life. The Youth Agribusiness Land Trust Fund is not just timely. It is a bold, necessary intervention tackling the single greatest barrier confronting our young agripreneurs, which is access to land. By creating structured, transparent, and equitable pathways for youth participation in agribusiness, this initiative will unlock a cascade of opportunities, employment, enterprise, food security, and sustainable economic growth. Here in Kaduna State, we remain resolute in empowering our young people through innovative programs that sharpen skills, nurture enterprise, and foster productive engagement. In Kaduna State, we are building a future where no youth is left behind. We see agriculture as a powerhouse for shared prosperity, and we fully embrace initiatives that equip our youth with the resources, knowledge, and support system they need to thrive across the entire agricultural value chain. The establishment of agri-hubs, alongside transparent land access and hand-holding incubation and enterprise development, aligns perfectly with His Excellency Senator Uba Sani's vision of a prosperous, inclusive Kaduna, where young people are not just beneficiaries, but they are active drivers of economic transformation. As this fund takes flight, I call on young Nigerians across every region to seize this moment and step forward to position yourselves as the engine room of Nigeria's agricultural revolution. I salute the Federal Ministry of Youth Development and all stakeholders for this landmark achievement. May the Youth Agribusiness Land Trust Fund enjoy a successful launch and even more impactful implementation. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. The Commissioner of Youth Development, Barrister Gloria Ibrahim. It's quite interesting that, of course, the Federal Ministry of Youth Development has those who are passionate about what we are doing at the national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. And it's safe to say that this vision is in safe hands. Once again, your hands together, please, for His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State. Our third goodwill message this morning will be taken by none other than the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu. Your hands together as he makes his way to the stage. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, Your Excellencies, representative of Executive Governors here, Your Excellencies, other government functionaries, their Ministry Mama, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth Development, esteemed stakeholders, the distinguished guests, and youth agripreneurs, my dear vibrant corps members, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. We were taught in elementary economics that agriculture is the mainstay of Nigeria's economy. Also, we learned that land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship form the fundamental factors of production. In particular, land is said to be finite, immobile, non-renewable natural resource, making it a strictly limited commodity. So, easy access to arable land is a strategic empowerment for farmers and implementation of national agricultural policy. Today's launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund is a testament to our collective commitment to what's empowering the next generation and fostering innovation in Nigeria's agricultural sector. In this era where securing farmland is becoming increasingly challenging for our farming youth populations, the National Youth Service Corps recognizes the vital role of the youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund and breaking down barriers and creating a pathway for youth-led entrepreneurship to flourish in agro-allied sector. For our skills acquisition and entrepreneurship development program in the NYC, which places significant emphasis on agro-allied entrepreneurship, this initiative will serve as a catalyst for enabling corps members to translate their training and passion into tangible agribusiness opportunities. By providing transparent access to consolidated land and supporting youth with structured tenure and comprehensive training, the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund is not only addressing a critical need, but also amplifying the impact of our ongoing efforts under the NYC Skills Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Program. The idea of agri-hubs in particular will offer our corps members the practical experience, mentorship, and enterprise incubation needed to nurture viable agribusinesses from the ground up. The synergy this launch will create among stakeholders will accelerate the development of new generation of agripreneurs who are well equipped to transform Nigeria agricultural landscape. We commend the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, the IITA, and all implementing partners for their dedication to youth empowerment and agricultural transformation. As we celebrate this important milestone, I urge all stakeholders, government agencies, private sector partners, development organizations, financial institutions, and youth networks to continue supporting this very vision. Together, let us harness the energy, creativity, and resilience of our youth to secure Nigeria's food future and economic prosperity. On behalf of management, staff, and the teaming core members of the National Youth Service Corps, I reaffirm our unwavering commitment to supporting this noble cause. Your Excellency, Honorable Minister, I congratulate you and our partners on this historic launch today. We look forward to witnessing the dividends of this collaboration in no distant future. Thank you for this invite, and thank you for this opportunity to deliver this goodwill message. Thank you.
Thank you. Youth obey the clarion call. Under the sun and in the rain, Nigeria is ours, Nigeria we serve. I know that those words resonate with almost everyone in this room who went through the National Youth Service Corps compulsory service year. And today we have with us core members here to witness what the Federal Ministry of Youth Development is doing. Thank you very much once again to the Director General for those words. Very quickly, would be dispensing with some quick greetings again. With us this morning, representing His Excellency the Executive Governor of Edo State, we have Honorable Charity Amayaho, the Honorable Commissioner of Youth Affairs. You're welcome. Your hands together, please. Thank you very much. We also have, representing the Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, the Director General and CEO of the National Biotechnology Research and Development Agency, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa. You're welcome, sir. Very quickly would be having the words from our own chief host. John Maxwell says, and I quote, that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Our chief host is a passionate advocate for youth inclusion, empowerment, and meaningful national participation. Very quickly, can we all put our hands together as we welcome the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I would have loved to stand on all existing protocol, but permit me to pick part of the protocols so that I won't stand on it. Let me welcome a father figure, a supporter, and always love to know exactly what is happening to you, even when you are fine or you are not fine. You may have, as it's been called, it's a former governor, is former this and that, according to we, our comrades. But is the present Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, the distinguished senator that you all know that are speaking here. Thank you very much, sir, for all you do. Let me also welcome the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Youth Development, the Mama Youth. Thank you very much. The representative of all governors here present, and I still use the only women that is part of them that are just speaking also, that's the Commissioner for Youth, Kaduna State, to say thank you to all representative of executive governors here present. Let me welcome my own, the DG of NYSC, Brigadier General Nafiu. Thank you, sir, for always collaborating and partnering in progress. The DG of CLTC, and my own sister, Risola Abiola, and I also use the essay to the President on Youth Initiative as a point of contact to all SSAs and SA that are present here today. And also the Director General that is with us in spirit, the Director General of IITA. Thank you, Doctor, for always being with us, neither in spirit or physical. I send a warm greeting to the banks, FCMB, First Bank, that have contributed meaningfully to this and be a partner as a supporter in this. And also, Madam Halim, thank you very much. The staff of Ministry of Youth Development, it's a great not to welcome you here, but because we are also part of it. The development partners, it is a great pleasure to welcome everyone here today. I welcome all representatives of government, and like I said, the development partners, the financial institutions, the private sector leaders, the youth organizations, the core members, and the members of the diplomatic community. I welcome all of you, the stakeholders that are present here. Today is not just about launching programs. I'm also tired of launching programs. Today is about opening a new door for the Nigerian youth. It is about creating opportunities. It is about job creation, no more, no less. It is about the food security. It is about the economic growth that we're all talking about all times. It is about the youth himself. As you know, more than 70% are under the age of 30. It means the future of this country depends on what we do for the youth today. Across the country, the Nigerian youth continues to grow in talent, different ways. We have the youth in creativity, we have the youth in energy, we have the youth in innovation. And the funny thing is that we are so determined. Our determination is very strong. Many of them are making progress in businesses, sports, entertainment, and many other sectors. But many of these young people is still struggling with unemployment. Some people think it is only government that can employ the youth. This lack of opportunity, limited support, the problem is not about the young people in Nigeria because we are full with talents. The problem is access to opportunity, access to support. That is why, as a minister of Ministry of Youth Development, and I think that's the first young minister of Ministry of Youth Development anyway, we have made up our mind to think outside the box. We are not waiting for budget. We are not waiting for government funding. But we are thinking how to connect the youth to the economic growth. We believe this connects with every major sectors, reflect what is called the renewed hope, because we can't renew our hope when we are stagnant. And that is what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, the president, believes strongly in, that power and potentials of Nigerian youth is possible. And it's there. Today, this event is so important and is so practical because the agricultural remains one of the biggest opportunities for job creation in Nigeria. Agriculture can create a lot of millions of jobs. It can improve food production. It can reduce poverty. It can grow our economy. And today, agriculture is no longer just by farming or about farming. It is how we include technology, process, packaging, marketing, exports, innovation, and other business opportunity across the value chain. But despite all this opportunity, many young people still face major challenges. And that challenges is access to land. We have a lot of issues, banditry, insecurity, land exchange, state, subnationals, and all that. many Nigerian young people are afraid even to involve in agribusiness. Setting the farmland is the biggest problem for others to effectively participate in agriculture. That is why this Ministry of Youth Development review all our assets across the country. Because about 1 year ago, I reviewed all the centers, development centers, the land that were given to Ministry of Youth. And I said it is time to discover ourselves. Many of these youth centers have large areas of land and can be used productively. And that is why we gave birth to this Youth in Agricultural Land Trust Fund. This initiative is not just about giving land. It is about giving the young people support they need to succeed. The program will produce training, model support, modern farming support, technology, mentorship, business support, and access to market. Our goal is clear. We want to transform all youth development center into active agricultural hubs. We want to train more than 6 million Nigerian youth in the next 3 years. We want to support at least 500,000 youth-led agribusiness, and we want to connect the Nigerian youth to both local and international markets. Most importantly, we want agribusiness to become a major part of the economic future of our country. This initiative is not just about bidding, talking, practical. During the development of this program, I think I visited the IITA, that's the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, and I saw how it looks like. And I'm so impressed to partner with them. And not only in IITA alone, we're also bridging the gap with even Ministry of Agriculture. Before Salah, I was still with the minister, and I think we are also forming up to pull up a lot of things with IITA and Bank of Agriculture. What I saw there was very encouraging. I saw a lot of young people building successful businesses. I saw young people creating jobs for themselves. I saw young people challenging their communities through agriculture. Those experiences encourage us to push this initiative. Our partnership with IITA is therefore very important, because together we are working to expand the opportunity for the young Nigerians. This is not just a small project, and I just don't believe in this room agriculture, but the land agriculture. This is a national program that we are begging and we are pleading, and we is telling you that it's not because it's an election time. No, we are connecting with the subnational, which are the governors, and thank God that the commissioners of youth are here. Expand this program to the subnational. Let the governors understand. Again, I'll still push more. Understand the reason why we need to march together to save this our land, so that a lot of young people that are determined will know more about this program. We are determined to deliver a long-term impact, but government cannot do it alone. Land alone is not enough. Young people need finances, they need training, they need technology, they need equipment, business, and access to markets and strong partnership. That is why your presence here is very important. Financial institutions have an important role to play. Development partners also have an important role to play. And also the private sector is crucial. State government have a lot of role to play, because, like I said, they are the key partner. Together, we can build a strong support system for young Nigerians. At this point, I will also sincerely thank the First City Monument Bank and also the First Bank for their support to this initiative. I also thank the Food Agricultural Organization, AFO, and also the Bank of Agriculture and Ministry of Agriculture. Their support shows a lot of strong break and also ability for the youth to drive an economic growth. Today, creating of job is therefore more than ceremony. It is a call to action. It is a call for partnership. It is a call for investment in Nigerian youth. It is an official launch of initiative today. I invite all stakeholders to support this vision, to think first about this country before every other thing, to look forward for more and more welcoming partnership. I thank you for coming today. I thank you for being part of us. I thank you for you thinking beyond your own door and moving to the next door. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and more bless the Nigerian youth. Thank you and God bless you.
May we kindly rise in honor of our own Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande. Thank you. You may please be seated. Still on quick recognitions this morning, we have with us the Director, Agric and Water Resources, representing the Director General, Bureau of Public Procurement, none other than Engineer Bright Obidi. You're welcome, sir. Your hands together, please. Thank you. You're welcome, sir. We also have this morning, representing the Group Managing Director of Noran Bajet, Mr. Tony Ede. He's being represented by Samuel Yekomi, Chief Research Officer of Noran Bajet. You're welcome, sir. We have with us the Policy Advisor, Food Security and Climate, Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Mr. Folusho Adejiro. You're welcome. We have this morning still Mr. Mohammed Selassie from the International Fertilizer Development Center. Very quickly, thank you. A true Nigerian, is known by cultural identity. And this morning we have with us, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the NYSC National Troupe that will be displaying Nigeria's rich cultural expression as articulated in cultural displays. Okay, thank you very much. Very quickly, we'll just hand over to the media for a brief moment of songs and we'll continue shortly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will be proceeding with the award and recognition of young Nigerians who are doing incredible work in the agricultural industry presently in today's world. To proceed with that, we'll be welcoming representatives from the Federal Ministry of Youth Development as they come forward to the microphone, please. Can we have the awards quickly? Thank you. Okay, we'll be calling the names of the awardees very quickly. Just a moment. This morning, recognizing for their efforts in the agricultural space, we have Peter Gideon. If you hear your name, please, can you just proceed to the stage? Adamu Nusaiba, beg your pardon. Ibiteye Michael, your hands together for them as they come up stage. We also have Ahmad Abubakar Zakari. We have Umar Babangida. We have Abdulaziz Bashar. Rashid Daramola Ibrahim, Orji Chiamaka Precious, and Faith Moyinolua. Thank you. If you're here, please.
I know no, don't let them come forward. Don't let them come forward. The Honorable Minister of Budget and Planning will be leaving us shortly. So before he leaves, we have that we are practical about our approach. And whatever support we get, we want to try as much as possible to get down to the real people that are young people that have been in the agribusiness and also have been part of this system for a very long time. And that is why you permit us that we are changing the program a little bit. So before he leaves us for other important national engagement, I'm calling him to join us here to present this award to the first person. I don't know which name you call. Sorry, can I have the names? So what do you have there? The Minister of Budget to present the award of a token in support by our partners, the First Banks and the Ministry of Youth Development, to call Mr. Peter Gideon. Who is Mr. Peter? Somebody should help you too. No, you don't carry everything. I'll put one aside. Presenting to him in his farm business to grow with a sum of 1 million naira.
So, on behalf of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, I'm honored to present this check of 1 million naira in recognition of your exceptional contribution in the Nigeria agricultural business. With congratulations. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, on behalf of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, I'm honored to present this check of 1 million naira to you in recognition of your exceptional contribution to agribusiness for the youth. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, on behalf of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, I'm honored to present this check of 1 million naira to you for your contribution to the agribusiness in recognition of your skills. Keep it up. Thank you. Is that what? Okay. What do you do? Beekeeper. Oh, this is amazing. Where, in which state? Eh? Thank you. Once again, I'm very honored to present this check to Choma, Oji Chamaka, who amazingly told me she's a beekeeper. So can you please give her, because it's one of those businesses we hardly think about, very proudly so, and that she trained other youth. Congratulations. This is from the Ministry of Youth and Youth Development and partners in recognition of your exceptional skills and inspiration to other youth. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir. So the Madam Annie can join us. DGBOHI, BOHE, DGNYC, DGCLTC, SSA to the President on Youth, SSA to the President from the Vice President Office, the Commissioner for Youth, Edo, Kaduna, Development Partners, First Bank, FCMB, SAFITA, PS Ministry of Youth Development, BOHI, what have I not called? IITA, First Bank, I've called. Doctor, House of Destiny, who again? Who is that guy? Everybody at the front row that I can't mention the names. FOA, yes, FOA. Everybody at the front row. NABDA. The representative of the governor of Kano State. Thank you very much. And it's also to tell us that they are not the only people, and this is not a monetary funding stuff. A lot of young people are going to be given seedlings and a lot of agricultural tractors that you can partner to make use of and give back. And I know the Bank of Agriculture is there. They will give you the keynote and what it's needed also to make this work better. And Madam Aline is there to also expatiate more on most of how the young people are going to be trained and are going to be getting the fund and also the seed. And most of all those things that are also going to be available in partnership with the subnational. Thank you very much. You can have your seat. Thank you very much. Thank you. And for others, they'll still call you. The program still continue. No, it continues. You are not going now. I mean, affiliation.
The Honorable Minister of Youth Development doesn't just talk about youth support. He truly exemplifies the word support in all of these actions. And just as he has said, this is not just a provision of financial support to those youths in agriculture. It is one to inspire even those who do not get the finance today to immerse themselves in the knowledge and all that is going to be shared so that you know how you can benefit from the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. Thank you. Congratulations to all recipients. Earlier, as I said, a Nigerian is known by cultural identity. And today, to exemplify and show us right on stage our own cultural heritage, we have youths in this place, in this room, here and now. Join me, give a loud welcome to the NYSC National Troop. Thank you.
As these flames burn with strength and purpose, they reflect the passion, resilience, and determination of Nigerian youth. Across our nation, young people are transforming agriculture from a means of survival into a pathway for innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth. Just as fire has the power to ignite change, so too does the potential of our youth. As these flames burn with strength and purpose, they reflect the passion, resilience, and determination of Nigerian youth. Across our nation, young people are transforming agriculture from a means of survival into a pathway for innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth. Just as fire has the power to ignite change, so too does the potential of our youth. Through access to land, opportunity, and support, we are cultivating a future where young Nigerians can thrive, create jobs, strengthen food security, and contribute to sustainable national development. Today, we celebrate a generation that is not waiting for the future, but actively creating it. A generation of farmers, innovators, entrepreneurs, and leaders. With the right resources and unwavering determination, our youth can turn fertile soil into lasting prosperity and bold ideas into national transformation. Together, we are planting the seeds of progress, nurturing the roots of empowerment, and harvesting a brighter, stronger, and more prosperous Nigeria for generations to come.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Put your hands together, a standing ovation really for the NYSC National Troop for that display. Wow. You can please be seated. It's important for everyone to know what they can do. I know that I can speak, give me a microphone, but if you keep me here to dance for you, I don't think it's going to be that great. Thank you so much, NYSC National Troop. We will be want to specially recognize the Executive Director, Portfolio Management of the Ministry of Finance, Incorporated, Mr. Tajuddin Dati Ahmed. You're welcome, sir. We want to, thank you. We want to also especially recognize the MD CEO of the National Credit Guarantee Company, Mr. Bonaventure Okaimo. You're welcome, sir. Thank you. We are all here this afternoon because our own Honorable Minister of Youth Development had a dream, a vision, which has now brought us all together. Some dreams indeed require access to capital, access to strategic investment, and institutional support. Our next speaker brings with him a remarkable wealth of experience spanning investment banking, infrastructure, agricultural finance, public-private partnerships, and impact investments across Africa. He believes that agriculture is the lifeblood of our economy, And it's with that in mind that he drives innovation for sustainable national development at the Bank of Agriculture. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me with a round of applause as we welcome, for the first keynote address, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Bank of Agriculture, Mr. Ayodeji Sotiri. You're welcome, sir. Your hands together, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebolo, represented by the Honorable Commissioner of Youth and Youth Affairs, Charity Uyimwen Amayenv, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, H.E. Abba Kabir Yusuf, represented by the Special Advisor on Youth and Sports Development, Honorable Sani Musa Danja. His Excellency, Executive Governor of Kaduna State, Senator Obasani, represented by the Honorable Commissioner of Youth and Sport, Barrister Gloria Ibrahim, Minister of Budget and Planning, I think he probably just left, the Managing Director of the First Bank, represented by the Group Head, Public Sector Group Division, Abuja, Hama A. Mohammed. Let me start by recognizing our host, my brother, Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Olawande Ayodele, Permanent Secretaries, Director Generals, State Government officials, distinguished development partners, our partner from CGIR, IITA, my sister Aline, and the most special, most important people here, our youths and young agripreneurs present here. It is my distinct privilege and honor to stand before you today at the national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund, an initiative that I believe would define a new chapter in Nigeria's agricultural development story and in the economic futures of millions of our young people. Let me begin with a truth that is too often spoken about, but too rarely acted upon. Nigeria's greatest asset is not in its oil, neither in its mineral wealth, and not the fertile expanse of its agricultural land alone. Nigeria's greatest asset is in our youth. With over 60% of our population under the age of 30, we possess a demographic endowment that, if properly harnessed, can transform this nation into a continental powerhouse for food production. Not only that, but agribusiness innovation and rural economic prosperity. Today, we're not merely launching a fund, we are making a declaration that Nigerian youths belong in agriculture, not as subsistence farmers, not as laborers, not as entrepreneurs, but as entrepreneurs, innovators, landholders, and leaders of the 21st century agribusiness economy. For far too long, the most fundamental barrier to youth participation in agriculture has not been lack of a passion, nor a shortage of training, nor absence of financing. It has been land. Without secure and transparent access to productive land, all other interventions are built on sustainable foundation. Young Nigerians have ideas. They've got the energy and the ambition. What they have lacked is the structured, dignified, and tenure secure access to land that would allow them to build viable businesses in the agriculture space. The Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund addresses these challenges head-on, and it does so at scale by consolidating hectares of agricultural land from 42 federal youth development centers into dedicated land trust fund. We are creating the physical and institutional infrastructure that young agripreneurs need to plant, grow, process, and profit. This is not a promise for tomorrow. The infrastructure is already here. The youth development centers are already here. What the fund does is repurpose and unlock them, transforming what were dominant facilities into dynamic agri-hubs that will serve as engines of a new agribusiness economy, but this time driven by youths. For the Bank of Agriculture, which I'm sure you guys are yearning to hear about, we pride ourselves as Nigeria's foremost development financial institution for the agriculture sector. This initiative is not peripheral to our mandate, it is central to it. Our partnership with the Federal Ministry of Youth Development under the funds framework is anchored on a clear and ambitious financing architecture. We are proposing to deliver youth-targeted agricultural financing through a single-digit loan facility designed to reach a minimum of 20,000 youths in each implementation phase, scaling to a holistic goal of empowering at least 2 million young Nigerians across the nation. And I mean it, these are not mere words of a politician, these are facts. To ensure that this financing reaches youths across Nigeria's diverse agroecological and demographic realities, we've structured our support around 2 complementary delivery tracks. Track A, input financing for production in agriculture, targeting youth cooperatives in Nigeria's agro-rich states. The bank will disburse directly to verified input suppliers who will deliver better quality inputs, seeds, hybrid seeds, fertilizer with the right blend, and crop protection products to farmer aggregation centers. Our digital platform will track utilization from disbursement all the way through to harvest time for repayment, whether in cash or in commodity. We're quite flexible. Track B will be urban agriculture and agri-value chain services. As we all know, we all can be farmers. Some of us provide services around agriculture. This will target youth in densely populated states with limited land. This track promotes sustainable urban farming techniques, including vertical farming, indoor hydroponics, container farming, and controlled environment agriculture. Crucially, it also creates value chain services for roles for youth who may not be in primary production. Some of you can be aggregators, cold chain logistics operators, food processors, digital agri-marketplace facilitators, and mini agri-service hub providers. Both tracks will operate through a digital platform that will serve as operational backbone of our partnership, enabling beneficiaries to do registration, KYCs, cooperative profiling, input delivery tracking, repayment collection, and a real-time reporting dashboard accessible by the ministry and all program partners such as IITA. Accountability and transparency are not an afterthought in our model. They are built into the architecture of this program. At the heart of the fund's implementation model is the establishment of agri-hubs within the repurposed youth development centers. These hubs are integrated agribusiness platforms, bringing together under one single roof the physical infrastructure, mentorship, incubation support, technology access, and market connectivity that a young agripreneur needs to launch, grow, and sustain a viable enterprise. These agri-hubs will host crop production, livestock, aquaculture, agro-processing, and horticultural enterprises. They will be equipped with mechanization and processing facilities, storage and aggregation centers, agri-tech and digital innovation laboratories, vocational and entrepreneurial training facilities, business incubation units, and investor linkage services. There will be physical manifestation of what an integrated youth agribusiness ecosystem should look like. A call to our partners and investors who are present here. I wish to speak to you directly, and most especially our development partners, institutional investors, and private sector stakeholders in this hall today. The Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust represents one of the most structured, credible, and scalable platforms for agricultural youth empowerment that Nigeria has ever designed. The Federal Ministry of Youth Development has done the very difficult hard work of building this institutional architecture. IITA has brought world-class technical expertise. The Bank of Agriculture will provide the financing backbone and digital delivery infrastructure. The government has committed the land, the centers, and the policy framework. What is needed now is complementary investment in co-financing, in co-guaranteeing arrangements, in offtake partnerships, in market facilitation, and in the scaling of the agri-tech and digital infrastructure. We are active in discussion with development finance partners to bring additional capital to the table, and we invite all serious investors to explore what this partnership can mean for their portfolios and for Nigeria. Let me say, out of script, the most important thing is sustainability of these programs. We've done many of this in the past, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Youth, but the sustainability arm of this is for money to go out and money to come back in. And that can be achieved through banks. And now, permit me to speak directly to the young people in the room and those watching across the country. The Bank of Agriculture sees you. We recognize that agriculture, when approached as a business, when supported with land and financing, training and market access, is one of the most powerful wealth creation pathways available to any Nigerian, regardless of your state of origin, your educational background, or your starting capital. The Bank of Agriculture is committing here today to stand with you in every step of the way. Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust is not an ordinary program launch. It is a covenant between Nigeria and its young people, a promise that the system will work for them and the land is theirs to cultivate, that the opportunity is real, and that institutions of government and finance are aligned solely behind their success. Let me close with these words. A nation that invests in the agribusiness ambition of its young people is a nation that has chosen food security, economic resilience, and sustainable prosperity. Today, Nigeria has made that choice. I want to thank you all for believing in the Ministry of Youth Development and also the government of Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Can we please once again put our hands together for the MD CEO Bank of Agriculture. This morning, we'd like to very specially recognize the head women in export, representing the Executive Director and CEO, Nigerian Export Promotion Council. I want to hope that the framework presentation is already being prepared to start. Okay. We're supposed to have the framework presentation now, but we'll just be having a slight adjustment. We'll just take one goodwill. Okay. I'm told that the framework presentation is being finalized and it will be coming after. Please, can we have very quickly the presentation of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund, the program lead of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, Please, can we just quickly have that presentation come up now? Thank you very much. Let's have Ms. Ebio Agum, please, come up stage for the presentation. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together as we have the representative from the Federal Ministry of Youth Development come up for the framework presentation. She will be talking on the government end, and afterwards we will be hearing from our technical experts to give us more information as it concerns the reason we are here for the national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. We're having join us the Deputy Director and Special Assistant to the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Ms. Ebio Agum. You're welcome.
Thank you. The representatives of the state governors, executive governors, honorable ministers present, the directors general, permanent secretary, and all protocols observed. My name is Ebio Agun, Deputy Director, Special Assistant to the Honorable Minister of Youth Development. This is a joint presentation with the IITA, so I will just take a few of information on the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. So my task is just to share briefly the vision of the Minister and what the framework is to enable participation by stakeholders. So the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund was born out of the vision of the Minister. Why? The young population of Nigeria, over 60% are young people. It's a demographic dividend. It's something that is an advantage. If given the right opportunity and properly harnessed, it can actually drive economic growth. So their energies, they are vibrant, talented. All they need is motivation, skilling, and opportunities, and they can actually drive economic growth. So youth employment, of course, we know there's high level of youth employment characterized by working poverty, underemployment, and of course, this can be an advantage. Like I said, the youth bulge can be an advantage to promote food security and of course, economic growth through exports and feeding the nation and support the domestic markets. So what is the vision of the minister? He has spoken briefly about that, so I won't go too much about that. 42 development centers, the assets of the ministry, and he personally conducted a study visit to the IITA, and then what he's doing is not actually novel, it's not a new idea, he's actually scaling, bringing to scale what works. As he has said, he has seen a number of young people being employed, practical skills training. So he's providing the land, and then in collaboration with stakeholders, some of this land have the infrastructure, and they're all across Nigeria. So what is needed is some support for those infrastructure to become more globally accepted for skills training, and then of course, finance, access to finance, and access to market. So it's a holistic ecosystem he's actually looking at. And so, of course, to transform the youth development centers into productive agribusiness hubs. So the target of the project is 6 million youth. We have a database of over 6 million youth who are registered, and it's to train, build capacity, provide access to services across the nation, and then the outcome is 500,000 enterprises. So this is key because this is where it's the bedrock of where we need support from stakeholders. And of course, grant loans, guarantees, and investors. So these are areas where we need, that's why we have a cross-border, we have invited financial institutions, development partners, private sector organizations, civil society, and of course, ministries, departments, and agencies, because everybody has a role to play in supporting this project. And of course, aggregation, retail, exports, digital and access to markets as well. So we have a call to action section, which I'll speak briefly about. It's just a form, it's a simple form where we have a QR code, and partners can indicate how they want to participate in this project. So we're starting with a pilot, Ogun State, Oyo, Lagos, Ebonyi, Kaduna, Plateau, and FCT. So our partners, like I said, is the IITA, we're not reinventing, we're actually bringing to scale what works, and it's something that we have seen. The minister personally visited Ibadan and Abuja. I was with him in Ibadan, in Abuja, so we're able to see the centers, and he wants to replicate that in the youth development centers. And so this is where we need a partnership across board. How government, bank, investors, and development can participate. Banks, of course, financial access to finance. Investors, either infrastructure, either in access, either in land. State governments can even provide further land to support this project. And then, of course, development partners, technical support, technical guardians, training, and these are various ways each stakeholder can participate. Like I said in the call to action section, we'll be sharing that QR code for partners to indicate how they want to support. So we're looking for jobs. That's our focus, like I said, more jobs for the young people, enterprises, of course, investment and economic inclusion. So when youth are included in economy, it would drive economic growth. Of course, we have examples, and so many examples of nations who have included their youth and then has supported economic growth. So join the National Youth Agribusiness Movement. I would also like to invite our partner, Ms. Aline Mugisho, to also give some further details, our technical partners on this. Thank you very much for listening.
Good morning, good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm, again, welcome. But before I do my presentation, I want to hear the youth. Where are you? Is there any youth in the room? No, that doesn't sound youthful. Is there any youth in the room? Where are you? Great. No farmer? No food, no nation. It is my distinguished honor to stand here today and see this wonderful initiative come to life. Your Excellencies here duly represented, our own Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Olawande Ayodele, colleagues from the development partners, members of the diplomatic corps, young farmers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome again today to this transformative initiative. Today is not just a day, as the Honorable Minister duly documented this morning. It is an opportunity for us to understand how change can transform a nation, and how just a little bit of goodwill can make a huge difference. The Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund, it's the first testament and the first challenge to one of the greatest systemic barrier to youth employment and youth involvement in agriculture, land. Young people most time don't own land. And even when they want to own land, they're not necessarily credible enough according to the finance institution to be able to have access to it. And the minister made a very bold decision of saying, why do we claim and repeat the problem over the years, over decades, if there is a solution. He took a solution approach to this. And the Land Trust Fund is a model that eventually does not only allow young people to get access to productive assets, but it puts them in a system that makes them credible borrowers. The youth development centers are to be transformed into agribusiness hubs that are integrated services where young people, whether they practice primary production, processing, they can be in one place that can constitute a one-stop shop. Eventually, these facilities are transformed into co-working spaces that allows these young people to reduce the cost of starting a business. We have learned from the past experiences that a business from a young person that is between the first and the third year of formation. And the reason for this is because they don't get adequate support to be able to push that business, and they cannot bear the cost of starting a business. The Land Trust Funds, therefore, constitute an environment and a venue for these young people to be able to share these costs and reduce them so that they can capitalize on capital resources that are required. The second systemic barrier is access to finance. And most, I'm not going to speak on behalf of our finance partners that are going to come on stage to expatiate on that later. Most young people are discarded as credible borrowers because the question of tracking remains imminent. However, under the Land Trust Fund, these young people will be traceable. They will be functioning within an agribusiness hub that any bank can find them and can understand how they operate. They learn financial discipline, and while learning financial discipline, they understand and gain experience for running a business. They share spaces, which means accountability is built within the hub, and eventually they're able to scale their businesses. But most importantly, they earn while learning. So young people who are going to be part of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund are not going only to understand what agriculture is. They learn business development. We do have a business development component. They learn financial literacy. They understand what it takes to run properly an agribusiness. They are having access to technology. And here I would like to pause for a second again to recognize my sister centers here present in the room, colleagues from the CGIAR that have also pledged their full support to this important program. Indeed, today, Honorable Minister, you have demonstrated to us that eventually through your lenses, young people can see a future that is unbiased. They can eventually understand that they don't need somebody else to be able to access viable resources and meaningfully contributes to the economy. Agri-food system transformation is our priority at IITA, and young people are at the center of this. The industry requires several components of raw material. My colleague from BOA has already said stressed the importance of a systemic agri-food system. And here we are repositioning 500,000 young people as core agripreneurs that are not going only to support the value chain, but create opportunities in every joint of the value chain. In addition, we are going to lift 6 million young people out of poverty. And that, again, I think deserves a standing ovation from the minister. We thank you, sir. Finally, we're going to repurpose 42 centers across the agroecological zone and the agro-geopolitical zones. And these young people are going to have access to 22 million hectares of land. The UNDP mentioned that Nigeria has 91 million hectares of land, and only 32% of that land is being duly utilized. which means through this initiative, in the next 3 years, we're going to restore 22 million hectares of land. And we would count strongly on the support of each and every one of you here present, but particularly our national partners. We remain available and committed to this program. And at IITA, we believe that a country that cannot feed its own people will eventually collapse to its own enemies. Food security, Honorable Minister, has been made a priority through what you have been able to give to the young people. And we're pleased and honored to be able to partner with you to make this project a reality. I would like here again, before I move here from this podium, to recognize the generous contribution of the First City Monument Bank, of the First Bank of Nigeria, of the Green Agri Technologies, and all the other partners that are consistently willing to support. It was also my great pleasure to see the next generation. Lady Sandra, thank you for making it here. We appreciate that. And all the colleagues here, there's so many here that have extremely committed to this initiative. It's my honor to say the table is open, you are invited, and besides that, let work begin. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Chief Executive Officer of IITA's Youth in Agri-Business Unit. Indeed, just as she said, it's a call for everyone to come into participation with the Federal Ministry of Youth Development as we truly achieve what has been said, lifting over 6 million Nigerian youths from the shackles of poverty and establishing them to a place of national impact and development. Right now, we will be going over to one goodwill message before we proceed to a second keynote address. Please join me in welcoming the Managing Director of First Bank Nigeria Limited, ably represented by the Group Head, Public Sector Group Division, Abuja, Hajia Hama Muhammad. Please put your hands together as we welcome her for the goodwill message. Thank you. And of course, it's important to still state that First Bank has done so much in putting together this event in the place of partnership. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister, Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, the MD CEO, Bank of Agriculture, Mr. Ayodeji, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Youth Development, DG NYSC, permit me to stand on existing protocol. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to represent First Bank Nigeria Limited at the national launch of the Youth Agribusiness Land Trust Fund initiative. Our special commendation goes to Federal Ministry of Youth Development for conceiving and driving a program that directly addresses some of Nigeria's most pressing priorities: youth empowerment, food security, economic diversification, and inclusive growth. The significance of this initiative extends beyond agriculture. It is a strategic investment in Nigerians' future by enabling young people to gain access to productive assets, build sustainable enterprises, and participate actively in the agricultural value chain. This program has the potential to foster innovation, create jobs, and stimulate economic prosperity across our communities. At First Bank Nigeria Limited, Our over 130 years legacy has been built on enabling progress and supporting initiatives. We are therefore proud to partner with the ministry in this landmark endeavor. We remain committed to providing the financial expertise, institutional support, and collaborative partnership required to help transform promising ideas into thriving businesses. As we launch this initiative today, let us remain united in our shared commitment to empowering the next generation of agribusiness leaders and building a more prosperous and food-secure Nigeria. On behalf of First Bank Nigeria Limited, we congratulate the Ministry of Youth Development and all partners involved for bringing this vision to reality. We look forward to continued engagement and impactful collaboration in advancing youth empowerment through agribusiness. Thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you very much. A special thanks to our sponsors, First Bank, for their contributions to seeing that the national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund is successful. And of course, important to also state the contributions of the First City Monument Bank, very invaluable contributions to today's event's success. Right now, we would be taking our second keynote. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. A vision gives a direction, then partnerships provide momentum. The future of agribusiness depends not only on access to opportunity, but on institutions willing to invest in enterprise, strengthen value chains, and support innovation. Our next speaker brings with him extensive experience in agribusiness finance, banking, financial risk management, and enterprise development, with a strong track record of supporting sustainable growth within the agricultural sector. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we warmly receive, for the second keynote address, the Divisional Head, Agribusiness and Non-Oil Exports, First City Monument Bank, Mr. Kudzai Gumonyo. Please put your hands together as we welcome him. Please keep clapping until he gets here. Thank you. FCMB Bank has done great work in supporting our vision, and we truly appreciate. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Executive Governors represented here, the DG, NYSC, country convener of EGIAR, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to speak on the subject, financing agriculture in Nigeria, focusing on the youth. This topic is timely, given Nigeria's future will not only be secured by oil alone, it will be secured by food, productivity, enterprise, agro-processing, non-oil exports, technology, and the creativity of young Nigerians. Agriculture remains one of the most important sectors in the Nigerian economy. Recent data from National Bureau of Statistics show that Nigeria's gross domestic product grew 3.89% in real terms in the first quarter of 2026, while agriculture recorded a recovery with growth of about 3.15% in the same period. Agriculture also contributed 18% to nominal GDP in Q1 of 2026, after contributing about 25.67% in Q4 2025. These figures tell us a story. Agriculture is not a side activity. Agriculture is a national growth engine. It is a food security engine. It is an employment engine. It is an industrialization engine. And if properly financed, agriculture can become one of the strongest platforms for youth empowerment and employment in Nigeria. Nigeria is also a very young country, with a large share of population below working age and millions of young people entering the labor market annually. The question is not whether young people should be involved in agriculture. The question is how to make agriculture attractive, structured, profitable, and financeable for them. Why youth must be at the center of agricultural transformation? The critical question before us is, how do we make agriculture attractive, bankable, profitable, and sustainable to the youth in Nigeria? Many young people do not reject agriculture. What they reject is poverty associated with old ways of subsistent agriculture. They reject drudgery in old systems of agriculture. They rejected outdated production methods that do not yield profits. They reject lack of access to finance. They reject absence of markets. They reject entering a sector where they cannot see clear income and outcomes, where there is lack of dignity, where there is lack of growth. Therefore, if we want young people to embrace agriculture, we must change the conversation. Agriculture must no longer be presented only as subsistence farming, but agriculture must be presented as a business. Agriculture must be presented as a business that is technologically sound, with logistics, processing, and commodity trading, and digital payments, mechanization that make it easy for the young people to join and to produce. The youth are naturally positioned to drive the transformation because they are more open to technology. Digital platforms, innovation, new service models, and enterprise-driven agriculture should be adopted. However, for the potential to be unlocked, financing must be properly structured around the realities of the young people and the realities of agriculture. Many young people don't have landed property to pledge as collateral that is required by banks. Many do not have long business histories, and many don't have the balance sheet that is required to access loans from banks. But they have energy, they have ideas, they are technologically sound, and they've got the ability to organize themselves around structured value chains. We believe that the youth in agribusiness, Land Trust Fund is going to change that narrative. It's a solution that is curing the perennial pain points for youth in access to land, in access to finance, in access to markets. We applaud the Honorable Minister for this initiative. The need to finance agriculture differently. For far too long, agriculture has been viewed mainly as a risky enterprise. And this is because we have used the tried, tested, and failed method of financing agriculture. What you have done, Honorable Minister, is an innovation that will unlock and change the narrative that I was talking about. How do we expand the role of youth beyond farming? A young person can be a farmer, but beyond farming, a young person can also participate in different ranks of the agricultural value chain. You can be an input distributor, you can produce the inputs yourself. Apart from primary production, you can be a trader of agri-commodities. You can process the agro-commodities into something that you are adding value and employing many more people as well. That's why for us as a bank, we saw that agriculture in Nigeria is predominantly smallholder agriculture. And to be able to finance the smallholder agriculture, you had to think outside the box. You had to be innovative and stop doing the tried, tested, and failed methods that were there before. We came up with the aggregator model that is particularly powerful. We have seen that if we use aggregators as a source of financing smallholder farmers and youth, we are able to reach the youth with inputs where the system itself also cures the perennial pain points that are associated with agriculture in Nigeria. We have seen a situation where the repayments that we are getting out of the aggregator models, we get 99.9%, which debunks the myth that agriculture is risky to finance. One thing that it does is it enables the youth and smallholder farmers to get the inputs that they need on time at their doorsteps. And when they produce, they get the extension services that teaches them how to grow the crops. And when they have produced, the aggregator off-takes the produce that the youth produce, so that the youth will not struggle in finding a market for their produce. And we are seeing a number of these aggregators that are growing on our platforms, and we are seeing repayment rates that are very, very good. One thing that we need to realize is finance is timid. Any appearance of risk or rumor of risk, finance or capital runs away. And as youth, with this program, prove that wrong. When you are given these loans, you need to be able to repay. And when you repay, you are going to make it sustainable. And you will see that when you have proven a point that this is profitable, this is sustainable, more capital will be attracted to finance more and more youth. So it's when, with the launch of this program, you are the people who are going to prove that we started a new program and we changed the history of of agriculture in Nigeria. We changed the history of youth getting finance and producing and repaying in Nigeria. For young people, the lesson is simple. Do not enter agriculture only because funding is available. Enter agriculture because it's profitable to do so, as profit is in the oil that sustains life of a business. Funding should follow a clear business opportunity, not mere enthusiasm. Because if you are not going to get profit, you will not be able to repay the loans. As a bank, we have tried several things, and we have also implemented de-risking measures to support smallholder agriculture, to support youth in agriculture, to support women in agriculture. And we have had relationships with de-risking companies that are giving guarantees for youth, for women, which has enabled us to extend loans to agriculture in a way that had never been done before. We are partnering the likes of MasterCard Foundation to finance youth in agriculture at about 9%, and we are seeing very good repayment rates out of these finances, but they are mostly anchored on aggregator model, which solves a number of the issues that I was talking about. So what has been the FCMB story? At FCMB, we have seen firsthand that agriculture can be financed successfully when the right structure, partnerships, and discipline are in place. We set up the Agribusiness and Non-Oil Exports Unit in 2012, and when we started, agribusinesses to total assets contributed below 1% of the bank's total assets. And we grew that to a peak of over 15%. And the non-performing loans are very, very low, below 2%, which also, as I said, debunks the issue that agribusiness or agriculture is risky. If you do it the right way, use the right structure, you will definitely be able to achieve a very good agricultural growth in risk assets if you are a bank. At FCMB, we also realized that agriculture needs innovation, particularly in Africa. And we actually launched what we call the AgTech Hackathons that actually promotes young guys to come up with solutions to the problems and challenges in agriculture. And this has been very successful, and we have been able to monetize the ideas that the youth had. In fact, 100% of the participants in these AgTech hackathons are youth, and they've been able to do fantastic things and solutions that are actually helping Nigeria to grow. Building the right ecosystems. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of Nigerian agriculture is not old, backward, or unattractive. The future is young, structured, climate smart, market driven, and innovative, finance enabled. But we must build the right ecosystem. We need a beautiful orchestra of efforts to build a competitive agribusiness sector. We require the following to play a harmonious outcome. Banks that are innovative and build and offer value chain enabled products. We need policies that enable predictable outcomes and are supportive to youth and agriculture. We need to scale up the aggregator models to enable access of finance to this smallholder agriculture and to our youth and to our women. We need to industrialize and export our produce. We need to develop and we need development partners that provide technical support and blended finance models. And we need a technology and platforms that improve productivity, transparency, record keeping, traceability, and ease of doing business. Young people who are prepared and disciplined and are innovative and are ready to treat agriculture as a serious business are needed. At FCMB, we see ourselves as a leading player in this ecosystem, a financial partner helping to connect capital with opportunity, risk management, and the energy that comes from the youth. In conclusion, financing agriculture with a focus on youth is not just about giving loans. It is about building a system where young people can produce, aggregate, process, store, transport, sell, export, as well as repay their loans. When we finance youth in agriculture, we are financing food security. We are creating jobs. We are financing agro-industrialization. We are import substituting. We are creating rural prosperity. And most importantly, we are financing the future of Nigeria. The future of agriculture is youth. And the future of Nigeria depends on how we profitably, boldly, and how we innovate and finance youth in agriculture. Congratulations on the launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. It is going to be the spark that is needed for agribusiness takeoff and rapid development in Nigeria. Thank you.
Special thanks to Mr. Kudzai Kumunyu, Divisional Head, FCMB. Indeed, systems and structures must be set in place if at all we want to see all the great things he spoke about. Of course, financing this initiative, the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund, translates to financing food security and ultimately Nigeria's future and entire security. We will be moving ahead with some goodwill messages, and right now it's my distinct honor to welcome the Director General of the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center, Ms. Resola Abiola, for her goodwill message. Your hands together, please, as she comes forward. Let's make it brisk and quick. We're trying to immediately quick up and just launch as well. So please, all our goodwill messages going forward, please, 1 minute. Everyone, take note. Thank you very much and welcome.
The Honorable Minister for Youth Development, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Youth Development, The Director General, NYSC, Presidential Aides here present, representatives of the executive governors, distinguished partners, sponsors, gentlemen of the press. It is said that a nation that does not feed itself cannot truly govern itself, and a nation that does not trust its young people with land, capital, and opportunity is a nation that has quietly decided to mortgage its own future. Today we are gathered to refuse that bargain. The national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund is both a policy initiative and a declaration that the federal government of Nigeria, under the able leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, believes in the productive capacity of its youth and is prepared to back that belief with structure, resources, and institutional commitment. Agriculture, we know, is a frontier, and Nigeria's soil is among the most fertile on earth. The gap between what this land can yield and what it currently produces is not a question of geography, it is a question of access. Access to land, financing, knowledge, and markets. This initiative addresses the very first and most fundamental barrier, land, and I would want to commend the Ministry of Youth Development under the able leadership of the Honorable Minister for conceptualizing this initiative and building on this grand partnership with the IITA. We at CLTC stand ready to be a committed partner in implementation as our training infrastructure, national network of youth cohorts, extensive experience in civic mobilization, and our institutional relationships across all zones position us to support the capacity building dimension of this fund. And to the young Nigerians who will be the ultimate beneficiaries, I urge you to walk across the bridge that has now been put in place by the government and to build something on the other side worth coming back to see. It is an investment in your future, and let your return be harvests that feed families, enterprises that employ peers, and communities that become proof that Nigerian youth are not a problem to be managed but a power to be unleashed. And on behalf of CLTC, we pledge our full institutional support, expertise, and enduring faith in the young people of this great nation. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you. The Director General, Ms. Risola Abiola, deeply grateful for those words. The next keynote address would be taken by the Technical Assistant and Chief of Staff of the Managing Director, who is representing the Managing Director of Bank of Industry. Please welcome Aderonke Akinluye. Put your hands together to welcome Aderonke Akinluye for the goodwill message. Okay, apparently we would be moving forward with the next goodwill message. Please join me in welcoming the SSA, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Youth Initiative, Titilope Badamosi. Put your hands together as we welcome her. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister for Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Youth Development, Madam Adeshewa Keshinro, the Director General NYSC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nofio, DGCLTC, Madam Risola Abiola, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a deeply personal honor to be here today, standing before this distinguished gathering, as we collectively witness what I believe will become one of the most consequential milestones in Nigeria's youth development story. This national launch of the Youth Agribusiness Land Trust Fund is a bold declaration and a very unambiguous statement that under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this nation has made a firm and irreversible commitment to converting its most abundant assets, its young people, into the principal drivers of agricultural transformation. For too long, Nigeria carried the paradox of a land rich in agricultural promise, yet populated by a generation largely shut out of this promise by the singular barrier of land access. Today, with the launch of the YALTF, that paradox begins its end, and a new chapter of deliberate, structured youth empowerment is opened. I must acknowledge the significance of this convening launch with a broad coalition of stakeholders, government, the private sector, development partners, financial institutions, and youth networks, all in one room today. Sustainable youth development has never been and will never be the work of a single institution. It demands convergence. It demands that each sector brings not just presence, but genuine commitment and resources to the table. I therefore charge everyone here today and also congratulate my boss, Minister Ayodele Olawande, on this initiative. To the young agripreneurs who benefit from this initiative, I say this with conviction that I carry. This land is yours. The support is being structured and the moment is now. Agriculture is not a fallback, it is a frontier. And those who position themselves at the forefront today will determine Nigeria's food security and economic story for the next generation. Thank you very much, and God bless the ministry, the Federal Ministry and the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. That will bring us to the very end of our goodwill messages for today. We'll be taking the call to action for this event. Of course, we had the framework presentation earlier where it was well explained what exactly the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund is about. So we'll be welcoming again Ms. Ebio Agon for the call to action, please. All right. Of course, whilst we expect Ms. Ebio would be inviting the CEO IITA's Youth in Agribusiness Unit, Mogisho Alain, for the call to action as well. Thank you. Your hands together, please, as she comes up again. And afterwards, after the call to action, we'll be taking the official launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a very vulnerable position to be in, so I'm going to be really quick. The Land Trust Fund has been named the fund for a purpose because the Honorable Minister is a convener. He doesn't like working alone, and he doesn't like people working alone. And so I would permit myself on his behalf to mention that at this moment, we would like to invite anybody that has land, NYSC. Okay, SSA to the President. Do you have land? Development partners that have prioritized youth in agribusiness, we would like to invite you to understand that this trust is something that is open for contributions, whether it is land or finances. I would like to call again to the attention of this distinguished audience, the fact that there's so much land that is underutilized in Nigeria, and that is serving the wrong purpose. With you contributing to this Land Trust Fund, there are 42 centers to be renovated, 22 million hectares to be cultivated, so there is enough room and enough space for everybody. Technologies to be scaled. FCMB and previous colleagues have spoken to technology and the importance of doing agriculture in a modern way. But we're also looking into market system and an industry-driven approach that also builds sustainable workforce for young people. So if you can't farm productively, you can still sell, or you can buy from the farmer. Because if you eat, thank the farmer. And if you will eat tomorrow, support the farmer. It's very important for us to invite you to do that. We do not want to leave this loose, so there is a QR code that will be circulated and that has a form that everybody can contribute to. And with that, again, we are calling on you to join the Honorable Minister to have this project successful. In 3 years, we want to tell a story of Nigeria that no child goes to sleep without food. We're going to break a generational poverty through this initiative, and your support is of extreme importance. It is my greatest honor again to say we are open for business and we're open for partnership. The QR code, please, technical team. We're looking forward to meeting you.
Thank you very much to the CEO of the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture's Youth in Agribusiness Unit. And now we've come to the moment everyone has been waiting for, the time where we have the official launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my singular honor to once again welcome our Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, as he comes forward for the launch. And please also okay, thank you very much. You're welcome, sir.
So if you don't take his mic from this MC, his mouth is too sweet. We'll just be here till like 5 p.m. or a.m. next morning. Permit me to call the representative of the governor of Kaduna, the representative of the governor of Edo, the representative of the governor of Kano, the FCMB First Bank, the gentleman, I wanted to call your name or your institution, but I'm not getting it right very well, but you can just come up, both suit and native. The SSA to the President on Youth Initiative, BOI, BOA, CLTC, DG, two core members, male and female, 2 young farmers, 3 young farmers, 4 young farmers, 5 young farmers. Core members, representative, male and female. You're here. You do not look like farmer now. Oh, you're an entrepreneur. Just spread across over there. No, okay, you can go there. You can still go there also. Why is DGCLTC? Okay. Join us here. I did not call you. Why can't you wait for me? You go there, sir. You go there, man. You should have waited for me, actually. So join us. All of you are in suits. You can't join us. We are talking about farmers here. Youth Parliament, Speaker. Where is the Permanent Secretary? No, come here. DG, come here. The governors will give you space. This is not their state. All other people in suit and all that, you can wait and hear from us. As the MC of this launching, presently now, I will hereby hand over the mic to the Permanent Secretary in collaborations. Why is First Bank? Okay. I think everybody is here already. In collaboration on behalf of all of us, the Nigerian youth, because she's the mother of the youth. And she's been supported by DIG, CRTC, DG, NYC, because the implementations will go from widespread and all that. And the IITA and every other person, I will then hand over the mic to her, to officially pronounce this program opened. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So I will say, to the glory of God Almighty, to the benefit of Nigerian youths, to the benefit of Nigeria, to the benefit of humanity as a whole, we launch this Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund today, being the 1st of June, 2026. So around the farmers we have the light. So let there be light and let there be food to power the light so that we can eat in light and eat well. Thank you, everyone. I'm looking forward to our gathering to look at how far we have.
No nation, no nation, no farmer, no food, no nation, no food, no nation. Yeah. Hey,
I've seen it lost in plenty places, seen it facts in all the cases, and what they all say is no food, no nation. It costs violation, calls with a proclamation to demand them. Farmers are key, make it to an anthem. Food is important, a basic foundation, and farmers with people in real location.
Thank you very much. I want to take pictures with our dignitaries. Can we just have, excluding the core members, excluding everybody else, just our invited guests.
Next level godly. I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, a capable farmer. You best recognize on your feet will be farming.
Iṣẹ́ ilé wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ máa jalè. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀, iṣẹ́ ilé wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ máa jalè. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká gbéṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lárugẹ. No farmer, no food. No, 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 no. No food, no nation.
We can see the joy, palpable, celebrating and marking the beginning of something new. Only brought to us by the Federal Ministry of Youth Development. Deeply grateful that today we get to mark such a momentous occasion. Special thanks to all our partners, of course the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture in particular.
Say my name, modernized farmer. Say my name, civilized farmer. You best recognize your fate will be farming.
The event is not over, please.
Say my name.
I understand we're taking photos. We're not still done with the event. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A very special thanks to our chief host, the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, for this vision, one that began as a dream we have now come to fulfill. We can see the happiness and excitement on the faces of our youths, beneficiaries of this scheme. Indeed, the food security being a national conversation is important. And that is what we have come to converse. That's what we've come to mark. I would like us to settle down again. If we can quickly please have our seats. The event is not over yet. We'll be rounding off in the next couple of minutes and would ask very kindly that we take our seats again so that we can bring the event to a reasonable close. Of course, memories are marked by photos, and of course, for the youths gathered here, it's important that we also share what the Federal Ministry of Youth Development is doing in the lives of the Nigerian youth. All right, we still have that happening. Celebration, celebration, celebration indeed. As a call to action, I should state again that the QR code is being displayed on the multimedia screen, and if you love the vision, which I know everybody here loves the vision that the Agribusiness Land Trust Fund has today expatiated, we should scan the QR code, please, so that we can find out ways in which we can partner with the Federal Ministry of Youth Development and the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture for the Agribusiness Land Trust Fund initiative. Okay, just a few seconds to do that. We'll be taking the vote of thanks, of course, almost immediately as well. And I'd like to welcome Ms. Ebio Agun to the stage once again for the vote of thanks. While we expect her up stage, please, if you've not scanned the QR code yet, do well to scan. In the QR code leads you to a link or a form where you can fill in your details and how you intend to partner with the Federal Ministry of Youth Development for the advancement of this cause in which we've gathered here today, the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund initiative. Inviting for the vote of thanks, Ms. Ebio Agu. Let's put our hands together as we welcome her once again for the vote of thanks. It's been an interesting couple of hours, very insightful. I believe everyone now understands fully what the vision is, and we're deeply grateful that we stayed up until this time. The vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of the Honorable Minister, Comrade Ayodele Olawende, the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Miriam Kenshiro, and all members of staff of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to His Excellency the Governor of Edo State, represented by Honorable Commissioner of Youth Affairs, Mr. Charity, Mr. Charity Uyinwe, His Excellency the Executive Governor of Kano State, represented by Honorable Sani Musa Danja, the Commissioner of Youth and Sports, His Excellency the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Barrister Gloria Ibrahim, the Managing Director of First Bank Nigeria Limited, represented by the Group Head, Public Sector Group, Madam Hama Mohammed, the Managing Director of the FCMB, represented here by the Regional and Divisional Head, Director General National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Lakule Olushe Nafiu, Director General of the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center, Ms. Rinsola Abiola, the Special Assistant to the President on Youth Initiatives, Monitoring and Delivery, Dr. Titi Lopek Badamosi, the Managing Director of the Bank of Industry, Dr. Olasupu Olusi, the Managing Director of the Bank of Agriculture, representatives of MDs, management staff of the ministry, co-members, all participants who were present at this event. My apologies if I've missed to mention everybody. And of course, our major partners, the Director General of International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, and the team here in Abuja, led by the CEO, Ms. Aline Mugresho, I want to express our heartfelt thanks for the participation of everybody at this event. And on behalf of the ministry, we want to invite as well, that has been done, to further our partnership. We should endeavor to scan the QR code before we leave and send in our observations and fill in our requests so that we can further contact you after this event. It has been a very rewarding experience having you, and this event would have not been successful without your presence. So for those who are traveling, wish for a safe journey. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. And of course, I'm sorry, the media, and of course, the event planning team for this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We can see the QR code still on the multimedia screen. And of course, I'm grateful that I can see people scanning the code. And of course, I wish that the scans that we do now would translate to meaningful partnership with the Federal Ministry of Youth Development and the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture. As we bring this event to As we bring this event to an official close, I'd like to announce very quickly that we have a lunch arrangement that has been set before us. For the general participants, lunch will be holding at the Obudu Hall. So after the end, as we conclude, we will be proceeding to the Obudu Hall. And for our VIPs, lunch will be taking place at the VIP lounge. So please, after the event, do well to proceed to the VIP lounge for your lunch. We want to also encourage all our participants to do well to visit the exhibition tour area where we would see our valued partners, the First City Monument Bank and First Bank. Do well to open an account with them as much as you can. With us this afternoon, we're privileged, the very last recognition for today, we're privileged to have with us the Director General, Eco Bank, Mr. Bolaji Lawal. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we draw this historic engagement to a close, the national launch of the Youth in Agribusiness Land Trust Fund, I want to very specially appreciate you for your presence and your partnership from the very beginning of this event up until this time. It shows in a very great way that we are committed to shaping a brighter future for the Nigerian youth. On behalf of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, and all our valued partners, a very big thank you for being a part of this defining moment. I am Abiye Abere, and it's been my distinct honor to serve as the compere of this event. As we draw this event to an official close, please proceed to the exhibition area and of course follow the launch guidelines that we have set before us today. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Good afternoon.
No food, no nation. Let us come together to make Nigeria better. Let us join our hands to build the economy. Agriculture helps to chase away starvation. Youth, let's join our hands to make Nigeria great. No, 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 no. No farmer, no food. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. No, 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 no. No farmer, no farmer, no food. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a lot from plenty places. Send me facts in all the cases. And what they all say is no food, no nation. It costs coalition, calls with a proclamation. Who demand them? Farmers are key, make it to an anthem. Food is important, a basic foundation. And farmers feed people in real education. Fuel, the medicine, fashion, economy, trade, education, security, industries. I want the products, a whole lot of money. See, life could be funny. Normally farmers should be our stars. Normally farmers are these superheroes, turning the seed into livelihood, making a fortune. It's next level body. I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, incapable farmer. You best recognize that your food will be funny.
Ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ àmàlẹ́, iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀, iṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa. Ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ àmàlẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká gbéṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lárugẹ. No farmer, no food, no, 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 no. No food, no nation, no food, no nation. No farmer, no food, no, 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 no.
I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, incapable farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, incapable farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. Say my name, honorable farmer. Say my name, modernized farmer. Say my name, civilized farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. Say my name, honorable farmer. Say my name, modernized farmer. Say my name, civilized farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. No food, no nation.
No, 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 no. No food, no nation. Executive farmer, farmer, farmer. I'm just a farmer, farmer, farmer. Executive farmer. No, 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 no. No farmer, no food. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No food, no nation. Let us come together to make Nigeria better. Let us join our hands to build our economy. Agriculture helps to take away starvation. Youth, let us join our hands to make Nigeria great. No, 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 no. No farmer, no food. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. No farmer, no farmer, no food. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. Yeah. Hey,
I've seen it lost in plenty places. Seen the facts in all the cases. And what it all says is no food, no nation. It costs coalition, calls with a proclamation. Who demand them? Farmers are key, make it to an anthem. Food is important, a basic foundation. And farmers feed people in real education. Fuel, the medicine, fashion, economy, trade, education, security, industries. I want the products, a whole lot of money. See, life could be funny. Normally farmers should be our stars. Normally farmers are these superheroes, turning the seed into livelihood, making a fortune. It's next level body. I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, incapable farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming.
Iṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ àmàlẹ́. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀, iṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ àmàlẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká gbéṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lárugẹ. No farmer, no food. No, 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 no. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. No farmer, no food. No, 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 no. No food, no nation.
I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, incapable farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer,
nation. Farmer, farmer, I'm just a farmer. Farmer, farmer, executive farmer. No, 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 no farmer, no food. No, 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 no food, no nation. Let us come together to make Nigeria better. Let us join our hands to build our economy. Agriculture helps to take away starvation. Youth, let us join our hands to make Nigeria great. No, 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 no farmer, no food. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. No, no farmer, no farmer, no food. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. Yeah.
I've seen a lot from plenty places, seen the facts in all the cases, and what it all say is no food, no nation. It costs coalition, calls with a proclamation, who demand them? Farmers are key, niggas turn an anthem. Food is important, a basic foundation, and farmers with people in real education. Fuel, the medicine, fashion, economy, trade, education, security, industry, some of the products, a whole lot of money. See, life could be funny, normally farmers should be our stars. Normally farmers are superheroes, turning a seed into livelihood, making a fortune. It's less everybody. I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, a capable farmer. You best recognize that your faith will be funny.
Ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ máa jalè. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀, iṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa. Ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ máa jalè. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká gbéṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lárugẹ. No farmer, no food. No, 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 no. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. No farmer, no food. No, 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 no.
I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, a capable farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, a capable farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. Say my name, honorable farmer. Say my name, modernized farmer. Say my name, civilized farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. Say my name, honorable farmer. Say my name, modernized farmer. Say my name, civilized farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. No food, no nation.
No, 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 no. No food, no nation. Farmer, farmer, I'm just a farmer. Farmer, farmer, executive farmer. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No farmer, no food. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No food, no nation. Let us come together to make Nigeria better. Let us join our hands to build our economy. Agriculture helps to take away starvation. Youth, let us join our hands to make Nigeria great. No, 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 no. No farmer, no food. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. No, no farmer, no farmer, no food. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. Yeah.
I've seen a lot from plenty places, See me facts in all the cases, and what they all say is no food, no nation. It costs coalition, cause with a proclamation, who demand them? Farmers are key, make it still an anthem. Food is important, a basic foundation, and farmers feed people in real education. Fuel, the medicine, fashion, economy, trade, education, security, industries, half of the products, a whole lot of money. See, life could be funny. Normally farmers should be our stars. Normally farmers are these superheroes, turning the seed into livelihood, making a fortune. It's next level godly. I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, a capable farmer. You best recognize that your faith will be farming.
Iṣẹ́ ilé wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ máa jalè. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀, iṣẹ́ ilé wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ máa jalè. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká gbéṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lárugẹ. No farmer, no food. No, 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 no. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. No farmer, no food. No, 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 no. No food, no nation.
I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, a capable farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. I am a farmer, reliable farmer. I am a farmer, dependable farmer. I am a farmer, a capable farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. Say my name, honorable farmer. Say my name, modernized farmer. Say my name, civilized farmer. You best recognize that your food will be farming. Say my name, honorable farmer. Say my name, modernized farmer. Say my name, civilized farmer. Best recognize that your food will be farming. No food, no nation.
No, 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 no. No food, no nation. Farmer, farmer. I'm just a farmer. Farmer, farmer. Executive farmer. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No farmer, no food. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No food, no nation. Let us come together to make Nigeria better. Let us join our hands to build our economy. Agriculture help to take away starvation. Youth, let us join our hands to make Nigeria great. No, 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 no. No farmer, no food. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. No farmer, no farmer, no food. No food, no nation. No food, no nation. Yeah.
Madam Annie can join us. DGBOH, BOH, DGNYC, DGCLTC, SSA, President of Youth.